So if you're wondering why I have the USA jersey on and the USA cap, no correlation here, honestly. I just threw something on, and we're just going to go ahead and hop right in the video, which is predicting the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. It is the first bracket of Champ Week. Obviously, Champ Week will start 2 weeks from now, but Sunbelt usually does their tournaments early so we can go ahead and get that championship game on ESPN networks, and so they can get more money for that as well. But first, if you guys are new to the channel, obviously be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys want to stay up to date on all things sports. I do believe this, by the time you are seeing this video, game number 1 will be starting up soon. It will be starting in about an hour. This will be Tuesday's pre-recorded video, which is when the tournament starts. Obviously, I'm recording this on Sunday, and tomorrow will be Auburn's first spring practice with the new coach. Cannot wait to see what Hugh Freeze brings to the table at practice. Hopefully, he's better than Harsin. Hopefully, there's some news out there on how practice was tomorrow. We'll go over it in Wednesday's live video. But regardless, we are going to predict. I have the tournament bracket filled out for you right here. We're going to go game by game and see who... And you guys will see who my Sunbelt Tournament Championship is. Obviously, we're not going to do a whole lot of these small conference tournaments. I just wanted to do the Sunbelt because of South Alabama. And obviously, there being the local team down here. Also, we will go ahead and predict every NCAA big conference like the ACC, SEC, Big 12, Big 10, Pac-12, all of that good stuff. We will predict the major conference tournaments. But regardless, we're just going to go ahead and hop right into the video. Game number 1. Coastal Carolina as the 12 seed going in to Arkansas State at Pensacola Bay Center on Tuesday night at 5 p.m. I actually have Coastal Carolina winning this game. I don't know why. I believe Coastal is the better team. They're the higher seed, but they're the better team. They do fight to the end of every game. We saw that against South Alabama, or at least I did. But they do fight to every game, and I believe that is what is going to prevail them to beating Arkansas State, which will eventually make them play our rivals, Troy, which we will talk about them later. I do have a prediction in the semifinals. Stick around for that as well. Moving on to the only other game in the first round. There are 2 games in the first round. It is Texas State and Georgia State. I have Texas State winning this game just because it is at home, or it's not technically at home, but they're the higher seed. They're the 11th seed, and they're overall just the better team here. I got Texas State winning this game, which will have them facing Old Dominion. Now we start at the top of the bracket, which will officially go down to South Alabama and App State. Now this is going to be a good game, 8 versus 9 seed. I got South winning, obviously, but I just want to say that South, heading into the tournament, has been hot other than that one loss to Louisiana on Friday night. But we should be able to bounce back from them against App State with the win on Thursday. I guess they take a break on Wednesday, but we should be able to bounce back and get the dub against App State. So hopefully South can do that and move on to face Southern Miss in the quarterfinals. Moving on, I have Troy and Coastal Carolina going into the second game. I believe Troy is going to prevail here, show why they are the better team. They have been the better team at times this season. I have Troy going to the quarterfinals against James Madison. Moving on is Old Dominion and Texas State. This was the winner of the previous game, Texas State facing Old Dominion. Old Dominion is the 6th seed, so I'm going to go ahead and say Old Dominion will win this game. They have looked very dominant this season. I don't intend for that to stop, as well as they go and play Texas State, which isn't they're a struggling team as well. I expect Old Dominion to get the dub against Texas State. And the final game during the second round, it is Georgia Southern and Louisiana Monroe. I have ULM winning this game, or not Louisiana, Georgia Southern rather, and Louisiana Monroe. I have Louisiana Monroe upsetting Georgia Southern. Don't really know why. I just feel like that is coming for the Georgia Southern Eagles. I expect their season to end right now in the Sunbelt Tournament second round. Okay, so moving on to the quarterfinals, we have 8 teams remain, and only 1 can go to the NCAA tournament, which I don't think is really that fair to them. But 1 team does remain, or 8 teams remaining. We're going to go ahead and predict the first game, which is Southern Miss and South Alabama, the number 1 seed Southern Miss. I'm going to take a bold prediction here and predict that South Alabama will beat Southern Miss again. We did beat them last week or 2 weeks ago. I can't remember when it was, but we did beat Southern Miss, and I expect that to happen again in the Sun Belt tournament. I expect South Alabama to go to the Sun Belt semifinals and play. We'll talk about who they're playing right now. James Madison 4 versus 5 Troy. I believe Troy is going to upset James Madison, obviously. Oh, my bad, guys. I'm trying to get the bracket. I don't know what happened. But, obviously, Troy is South Alabama's rival. That would be a great game for the semifinals. Would get a lot of viewing for ESPN+. And I believe that Troy is just the better team, and I think that they can beat James Madison as well. But regardless, South Alabama and Troy in semifinal number 1 on Sunday, March 5th. Moving on is Old Dominion and Marshall. I have Marshall. Marshall gets the double round bye. All these teams get a double round bye. Marshall, I believe, will go on to the semifinals. They're the better team. 3 versus 6, so it should be a very competitive game. But I just expect Marshall to get the win because they're the better team. Moving on to the final quarterfinal game. It is Louisiana and Louisiana Monroe. How fitting. They're in Florida, not even in Louisiana. But I expect Louisiana to get the dub because they're the number 2 seed in this tournament. Louisiana Monroe is the 10 seed. It's just fitting for Louisiana Monroe to lose and Louisiana to win. Setting up semifinal number 2, which is Marshall and Louisiana. Going to semifinal number 1, South Alabama versus Troy. I believe the series was split, if I'm not mistaken. And this will be the Game 3 decider. And I believe South Alabama will prevail and go on to the championship game. Here's why. Because they have the big men like Broome, or not Broome, but they have a very, very talented big man at center. They can shoot very, very good from the 3. I saw this live in person. And Troy, I don't know much about Troy in the first place, but I do know that they are very competitive, and I know that they will fight to the end. It's going to be close. If South gets hot again, hopefully that 1-game loss doesn't disturb them. But if South can get hot going into the tournament, they can find a way to go to the championship game, and we'll talk about the championship game in a minute. But South Alabama is going to go to the championship game. Moving on to the second semifinal, number 2, I have Marshall going into semifinal number 2 with the win. Louisiana is obviously the better team. It's a 2 versus 3. Anybody can win. I just think Marshall is going to prevail and get the dub here against Louisiana, which gives them going into the championship game. Marshall and South Alabama. Now we're going to talk about this game, obviously, but let's just go ahead and talk about it. So, South Alabama can obviously shoot the 3 ball. We've seen it all year. They've struggled at times as well. So has Marshall, though. We beat Marshall once. I want to say we did beat Marshall. But I think South is going to be your Sun Belt champions. There you have it, guys. That is my prediction for the Sun Belt tournament. South Alabama is going to be the champions. And hopefully they will get an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, which would be great for the state of Alabama, another team in there. Hopefully Auburn can hopefully do something as well. But that is going to be all for today's video. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, we will be posting all the tournament brackets daily. Once they come out, we will record our videos and then release them to y'all so you guys can watch and see our predictions. But Sunbelt obviously does it early, and we got the video in time. So there you go. My Sunbelt Conference prediction. Your champion is South Alabama Jaguars. Hopefully that comes true. But please leave a like on the video and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video, which is also going to come out around the same time as this video on Tuesday. You get 2 videos on Tuesday, SEC picks and obviously Sunbelt Conference bracket. Let me know what you thought of the videos, and don't forget to watch the next video as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace.